So this dock worker strike is pretty insane, and I want to talk about that a little bit today, and all the different things that people have said on both the left and the right, conspiracy theories on both sides, and just like the weird nature of this strike. And there's definitely something deeper going on here. That's something I definitely believe 100%. So maybe I'm also a conspiracy theorist, but there are a lot of people on the left who talk about how this is actually, they talk about how pro-union they are and everything, but they're saying with this, oh, this guy is obviously trying to sabotage the election against Harris and for Trump to win, because with the port strike, the economy is going to come to a crashing halt and all this crazy shit's going to happen. He's doing it because specifically he wants Trump to get elected. And there's a photo actually of that union guy and Trump together, pictured together, right after his attempted assassination in Florida, in Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. So there's a lot of people there that are saying that, but at the same time, Harris and Biden are in support of the strike and in support of the union. At least publicly, they say that they are, because they're smart enough and realize that if they say they're against it, like, oh, I thought you guys were pro-worker and pro-union. They realize if they say they're against the union and against the strike, that a lot of the pro-union the pro-union coalition that has been a strong part of the Democratic Party, a lot of them is going to turn against the Democrats and vote for Trump. And I don't think Trump has publicly made any comments supporting the strike itself. He has tried to court a lot of union support, though, and the Teamsters union actually, the members voted to endorse Trump, but the people in charge were like, yeah, no, we can't do that. So we're just going to not endorse a candidate, which is very interesting. I think he got like 75% of the vote or something like that. So there's a lot of pro-union Republicans now, more so than I think I've ever seen in my entire life, which is fascinating. But Biden talks about how pro-union he is. Well, what about that train strike, the railroad strike? I think it was back in 2022 that he signed a bill blocking it from happening, because I guess he has the power to do that, because they were federal employees. So yeah, very pro union. At least if it's convenient for you. If it's not so convenient for you, then you're not so pro union. But it's at the same time, the guy seems pretty shady. I know he had a bunch of RICO charges against him back in like 2005 or something like that. And the evidence, there's a lot of evidence out there that seems to indicate that he has strong mob ties and that he is a very corrupt individual. And then you see his mansion. He's got like this giant fucking mansion in New Jersey, 5 garages, and he's got, I think, like a Bentley or whatever, like these really expensive cars. And it's just like this lavish fucking, he's living in luxury, right? So you think, oh, he's in the waste management business. I think the mob ties are definitely, there's something there, absolutely. Because you don't just, get so incredibly wealthy and able to afford all that by just being this union boss and being like this blue collar champion. I don't think so. So as far as whether or not this is actually going to have much of an impact, it depends on how long the strike goes. It could just last a week or so. It could be 2, could be a month. Don't know for sure. There's no way of actually knowing until, we actually see things happening. But from what I've seen, at least, from what's being reported and what's being claimed, is that they knew that the strike was coming, so they ordered a lot of stuff ahead of time so that we're prepared, so we don't have too many supply shortages for the holiday season and all this. I'm not sure exactly how true that is, but I also saw that like with fruits and like with bananas, cherries, and a whole bunch of different fruits, apparently they can only come in through through the ports on the East Coast, and you can't get them through anywhere else. And if this strike continues, then you can't get any of those goods, or at least not without them being incredibly expensive and having to pay a lot for them, and they're not being very much supply. But as far as like cars and all the other stuff like that people have talked about, it seems like the consensus is, from economic experts at least, so you can take that however you want to, that you won't really start noticing a severe shortage for another month if the strike goes on that long. So we'll see how it goes. It's very fascinating, this whole situation here, especially since I've seen the deal that was actually proposed. And to me, at least, it seems like a pretty generous deal. It was something like a 50% wage increase and all these other benefits. I'm like, I would take that. But, you know, when you're just just a regular worker, it's not up to you. It's up to the people in charge of the union whether or not they want to approve it or whether or not they want to sign a deal and end the strike. So, you know, that's how it is. Unions definitely, people talk about how just universally amazing they are. There can also be a lot of corruption there sometimes. That's just the reality of it, you know? But let me know what you guys think about this, the longshoreman strike with the docks, and how do you think that's going to shake out? And who do you think is ultimately responsible for that?